Death offers mankind a full view of truth. Be of good cheer about death, and know this as a truth, that no evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. The real danger in life is not death, but living an evil life. To fear death is nothing other than to think oneself wise, when one is not, for it is to think one knows what one does not know. No one knows whether death may not even turn out to be the greatest blessings of human beings, and yet people fear it as if they knew for certain. It is the greatest evil. The wise man seeks death all his life, and for this reason death is not terrifying to him. He who has lived as a true philosopher has reason to be of good cheer when he is about to die, and that after death he may hope to receive the greatest good in the other world. Ordinary people seem not to realize that those who really apply themselves in the right way to philosophy are directly and of their own accord preparing themselves for dying and death. It is not difficult to avoid death. It is much more difficult to avoid wickedness, for it runs faster than death. Let us reflect in this way, too, that there is good hope that death is a blessing, for it is one of two things. Either the dead are nothing and have no perception of anything, or it is, as we are told, a change and a relocation for the soul from here to another place. For this fear of death is indeed the pretense of wisdom, and not real wisdom, being the appearance of knowing the unknown, since no one knows whether death, which they in their fear apprehend to be the greatest evil, may not be the greatest good. To fear death, my friends, is only to think ourselves wise, without being wise, for it is to think that we know what we do not know. For anything that man can tell, death may be the greatest good that can happen to them, but they fear it as if they knew quite well that it was the greatest of evils. And what is this but that shameful ignorance of thinking that we know what we do not know? I will not yield to any man contrary to what is right, for fear of death, even if I should die at once for not yielding. The soul is pure when it leaves the body, and drags nothing bodily with it, by virtue of having no willing association with the body and life, but avoiding it. Practicing philosophy in the right way is a training to die easily. You are wrong, sir, if you think that a man who is any good at all should take into account the risk of life or death. He should look to this only in his actions, whether what he does is right or wrong, whether he is acting like a good or a bad man. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our ways, I to die, and you to live, which is better only God knows.